Hey Sketchmaster family, and welcome to another episode of Sketchmaster. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and hit that little bell for notifications so you never miss a video. We're going to go ahead and continue our sports team logo series today. If you haven't seen the previous videos, make sure you check those out. This is going to be video number 3. The first 2 videos were actually my state-specific team logos. The high school where I went, and our college mascot, which is the Arkansas Razorbacks. So make sure you check those out. Video number 1 was the Razorback. Video number 2 was the Springdale Bulldog. And today we're going to be drawing one of my favorites, maybe not the best this year, or even last year, or possibly the year before that, but one of my favorite NFL sports teams, and that is the Denver Broncos. I've always liked the logo, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So the Bronco is kind of a fluid type drawing. So the way we're going to start here is just like this. Kind of a triangle looking thing here, and you could start with just a regular triangle like that. And what we'll do, as you'll see as we go further along here, so right here we know that this is going to be essentially where the cheek line is going to be for the Bronco. So we're going to go ahead and just put a circle there. And that helps me gauge where I want the cheek to be. From there, I'm going to go ahead and follow it down. So go ahead and follow the logo just like that, because we know it goes straight across. Right. And we know the nose is going to start and stop right about there. And what I like to do is come straight over, just like that, and go a little bit further out to where the nose is, and come up. And what we'll do is, when we come back through, what we'll do is actually cut this part out to where it looks more like the Denver Bronco type mouth. From there, we're going to go ahead and just come over here to this area. And if you need a guideline, you can also, because we know the mouth is essentially going to stop right about there, you can actually just make a square. Just like that. All right. And then from that square, just keep going straight over. Come down a little bit, and then up, just like that. And then what we'll do is come straight down. So it may not look like much yet, but that's a good guideline, because we want that mouth to stop right actually there. Just like that. And then start cutting into the actual picture of what we just drew, and follow the guidelines just like that. Okay. Come around on this side, a bit easier. So this comes down, and what we have here is essentially an S shape. So we're going to go right about here. We want this to kind of cut in more, and then follow it out right about there, and then follow it straight over. It's about right there. And this area is where we're going to draw the ear. So the ear will come straight over and stop right about midsection to where our cheek starts. So if you follow it straight down, it's about midsection of where the cheek is. Okay, and then from there, we're going to go straight, believe it or not, straight over and straight down. So it's going to be like this long L shape. Okay, and then from there, you follow it straight down. Just like that. And the nose is going to go right there. Remember what I said earlier, we're going to cut that part out. And this is where the nose is going to be. Just like that. And then we'll come out a little bit more, not much. Come down. And up. We're going to curve to where that line is, and going to follow it down and then up to where we stopped right here earlier. So it's going to make a giant like C, maybe. Actually, if you follow this all the way in, you can see almost a teardrop shape, but we're not going to do that. We're not going to connect these two. And then from almost to the end of that teardrop shape, you're going to drop right back down, straight down, straight over. Not quite that far down though, because we know the bottom part of the mouth is actually more narrow. So we're going to come over and down, right about there. That's a good starting or stopping place. And then go straight up to where this meets. Just like that. Follow it over. And then again, follow to where your cheek is. And then connect those lines. So there we go. That is the basis of our drawing here. And then for the ear, what we're going to do is basically trace what we have here. Just similar type shape. It's almost like the mass symbol, or even like a small chevron type shadow there. Okay, just like that. And then what we're going to do here is actually, I'm going to clean that up. I don't like the way that looks. There we go. It doesn't have to be quite as pointy as I made it. And then from there, what we're going to do is go right about to where you see that guideline. And if you want, you can follow it all the way over. And the eye is going to stop right about where that line is. So if you want, you can follow that line down and come back up and just make a hoop. Don't close that in though. If you do, you can always go back and erase that top line and just put a black circle in the middle there. And from there, we're going to follow this back over, same distance. It's going to stop right about there. Actually, not quite as far over. Right about there. Okay. And then come straight down. It should make essentially a triangle type shape. And then where you stop right short, actually right after the hoop there, come straight back up and straight back out. And you want those two to connect. And then you can color in that shadow around it. Okay, so you should have something that looks just like that. All right, And then from there, what we're going to do is we know there's going to be a shadow here, and it's going to be just like that. Okay, and then there's another one about in this vicinity. And you can make these shadows as big as you want, as small as you want. It really doesn't matter. It doesn't take away from the drawing. Follow it straight over, right about there. And then come up, come over, and it stops right about where the ear begins. So if we follow this down, it ends right about here. Okay. And you want to make sure you trace that same line. Just like that. Okay. And then go straight up, because we're basically mimicking what we see on the outside. And then when you color this in, make sure you leave about this much on the inside. All right, and then come back up here, and we're actually going to start in this area and color upward instead of downward. If we color downward, we're going to lose that space, and we don't want to lose that. And it's okay, because we're going to color all this in. So just go right back up to that top line. And then this part here, this part of the shadow, we're going to actually come over right down and meet this line. Just like that. All right, so that is the horse head. Now what we're going to do is add the mane. So the mane is going to basically follow the same pattern here. So you can follow this little S pattern up, stop it right about here, and then stop right about, if you follow this down, about to the hook part of this shadow. So as you come up and you curve right there, that's where you want this line to stop. And then the other part of the mane actually comes up right about there. It's going to look, I think it kind of looks like the toothpaste symbol. Right about there. Okay, actually, just stop it right about there. If you follow this down, it should meet right with that shadow. Straight down. Okay. And then we know there's going to be a shadow here, so we can go ahead and just mark that. And then come up here and down. And we're going to meet right in this area. And stop right here. Just like that. And then we're just going to follow that same pattern up. Not that far though. Up and straight down. And if your ear was too pointy before, it's okay, just go back and erase that one area, just like that. Just like mine was. Okay. We're going to color in this area, the shadow. And actually this came up too far here. Go back and fix that area. So the hair is going to be a little bit more narrow down here as you go up and over, just like that. So you should have something that roughly resembles this. Okay, and then we know there's going to be a shadow in this area. So you go ahead and color that part in, just like that. And there you have it. That is the Denver Bronco. Now what we'll do is we'll go back and actually I need to erase some of these guidelines. And you can also add more lines if you choose to, like if you put a line here and here, you can kind of add some detail to the original. And I kind of like doing that. And with the hair, you can kind of mess with it, do a little hatching there. And again, it kind of gives it that comic book feel, which I personally like. You may not, but I do. I'm just going to play around with the drawing, and if you put a little bit, something like that underneath, it kind of looks like he's got an eye mark. You can even put, something like that in there. And I'm not going to trace that with the pen on that area. We'll keep that relatively the way it is. So what we're going to do is I'm going to actually go through and trace the outside with the marker. Just like that. And for the sake of time, we're going to go ahead and color in these shadows with a marker. And there's actually a shadow here I forgot to explain. If you color that one in, it kind of gives it more of a fluid type of motion to the mane there. Alright, there you have it. That is the Denver Bronco sports team logo for the NFL. I actually am going to make this go further over. It's bothering me a little bit. I'm going to make sure that it lines up inside of the ear. That's going to do it for this video. Again, this is video number 3 in the sports team logo series. Make sure you stay tuned for the next one. The next one we're going to be tackling, no pun intended, the Kansas City Chief logo. And then obviously after that we're going to be tackling the Buccaneer logo. So make sure you stay tuned for those videos. And as always, that's gonna be it for this one. Make sure, if you haven't already, to like, share, subscribe, and hit that little bell for notifications so you never miss a video. And as always, guys, thanks and God bless.